Alright, what's up? I'm Ayan, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can install Kali Linux or other Linux distros in Windows Subsystem for Linux. For this you have some little bit of steps that you need to follow. All you have to do is the first step, which is open up PowerShell as administrator. Make sure you open it and run as administrator, because in simple words it is not gonna work. Okay, now we're gonna type in WSL. This will make sure that we have Windows Subsystem for Linux installed or not. In my case, I do not have it installed, but if I want to install, I can use this command to install the WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, or I can just press any key and this will automatically install Windows Subsystem for Linux. Now it is downloading the Windows Subsystem for Linux, which is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm just gonna speed up this process and come back later. So far we have not encountered any problem, and now it is installing Windows Subsystem for Linux, which will be used to install Linux within Windows, which means if you are primary user of Windows, you don't have to leave it again and again to access your Linux operating system. You can use Linux terminal within Windows PowerShell. Okay, it looks like we have successfully installed Linux subsystem for Windows, and now it is installing some features which are required to run Linux within Windows. This is going to take a little bit of time, so be patient on this one. And this is installing pretty well. Okay, looks like we have it installed. Now let's see. Yeah, we do not have any operating system or Linux distro installed yet, but let's see what are available options. To get the options, we have to use this command right here. We can just simply copy this command. Did I just copy it? No, it did not copy as well. How do we copy this command? Yeah, I know, just right click on it and it will automatically copy, and right click again to paste this command right there. Hit enter. This will give you a list of all the Linux distros that are available, and in my use case I am going to be using Kali Linux. Yep, that's the one that I use mostly. Okay, just copy this name right there. Here we go. And now all we need to do is, before installing, we need to restart our system. Okay, I have now rebooted my laptop. Let's open up PowerShell and run it as administrator again. Yep, the one window only. Now I'm just gonna type in WSL, which means it is installed, and now we need to type in that command. Yep, this command right here, and hit enter. This will now start downloading Kali Linux rolling, which is the basically Kali Linux but in a fancy name. This will install all the components of Kali Linux on my Windows system, and now after installation I will be able to use Kali Linux within my Windows PowerShell. Let's speed up this process as well. Okay, it looks like the whole Kali Linux is now downloaded, and this is going to take a little bit of time to install. Yep, installation is pretty fast as compared to the downloading process. Here we go. Now we have, this is now launching Kali Linux, which means the installation is complete, and now here I can type in my username, which is the new username that you need to create once you install your Linux. This is the Linux subsystem for now. I will use that later. Let's create a new account. I'm gonna type in my own name here, Let's type in a new password, which is not something I'm going to tell you. Retype the password again, and now we have Linux working here. Let's type in sudo su to get the root access. Type in my password, and here we have the root terminal available right within Windows. Let's update all the packages as well as the whole operating system. Make sure we have the latest version available. Yep, it is now downloading the packages that you might need. Yep, all packages need to be updated. So we have 2 packages that need to be updated, and the speed is also quite fast. I did not expect that kind of speed. I like it. Yep, from now on I am not going to dual boot my Windows laptop with Kali Linux. I am only going to use Linux subsystem, Windows subsystem for Linux WSL instead of dual booting my laptop, because I basically use Windows for everything. I only use Kali Linux for some shady stuff. Oh, sorry about not going to tell you about that. Here we go, we have this subsystem, Windows subsystem for Linux. Here you can see you get the graphical user interface apps as well, which you might also get from Windows, but some apps which are only available on Linux can also be installed through a simple command line, and then you can use the graphical user interface as well. You can use the Windows for basic task, but if you wanna use something that requires Linux, you can use that as well. In the settings, you can choose to, it's like virtual machine. You can choose however you want to change the settings or how many resources they take. You can change enable or disable optional features. You even get the developer options as well. Well, nothing to see here. Now it looks like the update has worked, and it's now, yep, all packages are up to date. Let's make sure we have the full operating system up to date. Well, I don't have actually the full operating system. This is just a subsystem of Linux, of Kali Linux to be precise, and it is working. Everything is up to date. I can even install apps that are only available on Linux. I can even use the command lines that are available for Linux only, and it is working. Now once you have closed everything, now you can use leafpad or others, these 2 commands, to get the graphical user interface mode entirely, which means you get the little bit of entire operating system within your Windows system. Well, in case you want to use the terminal only, simply just type in the name of your Linux. It will open up the terminal like any normal terminal will open in Linux. Well, this is basically an app for you. Now you can use Linux within your Windows and don't have to jump between Windows and Linux and vice versa. So this is how you can use it. In the app section, you can see it is installed as an app, and you can use it whenever you want. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks for watching.